everybody? What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Brandon Cordovas, Realtor with Keller Williams. I'm out here just giving you guys the rundown, chapter 1113. The title of this chapter is called Stalemate, and it's largely due to the fact that this is a stalemate of a battle. Both opposition of the Gorosei and both the Straw Hat Luffy squad are basically 50-50 right now. No one has the upper hand. No one has the underhand. So we're starting off here. We have the greatest brain in the world, Punk Records. That's where we start off the chapter at, looking at that place. We see the setting of it. As we go into the Punk Records, we see, well, it's been such a short time that the coffee's not even cool yet. But are they all set up with their video transponder snails by now? I wonder. Dr. Vegapunk is wondering what's going to happen. We see 30 seconds to go, Stella. And we see the fact that this is still rolling. They're still waiting. And they're still talking over this, broadcast that he had going out. He says, I feel a bit nervous knowing this is going all over the world. It lives on even after your death. Now, that part that I just said, it lives on even after your death. We see Mars looking up at Vegapunk's ginormous brain. And he says, is this you, Vegapunk? And then we get the quote, we get this crazy question from Mars. One of the five Gorosei. He says, what is death exactly? Where do our ideas truly reside? So it's really, really, really important to see this because, dang, this is really getting crazy, We see, cut back to that broadcast. Video will one day connect the entire world. It will mean knowing and the discomfort of being known. What if it's not? So then we cut over now to Syrup Village, which is Usopp's hometown in the East Blue. And he says, what if it's not at Kaya's house? Then no one in the village has one. Visual transponder snails are quite large, So going back and forth about why they don't have a transponder snail. And he says, it's like taking care of a very big pet. Why don't I put on some tea? Dr. Vegapunk's had a huge influence on the world of medicine too. I know, right? So we see onion, carrot, and I don't know what the other guy was. Tomato? I don't know, something. And he said, I know, right? You know anything about that. Pepper. So it's pepper, carrot. Read a book if you didn't know Dr. Vegapunk. And then we cut over to the actual Marines. And they're writing all this down. The Marines are all going after it. They're like, all right, this should be starting any moment. We got our pens, papers ready. We're going to get action. And then you cut to the Twin Capes, which you see the whale. They're there just waiting for the message. Then you cut to the future island of the future land Baltimore, Vegapunk's hometown. And people are asking, he was born here? That's right. He's the pride of Baltimore. And other people are like, oh, the one from the Nightmare of Baltimore. And then he's like, no, that's Frankie. And he's a ship now. Which is crazy. Frankie's a ship now. Like, that's just confirmed right there. And then he says, it's been decades since I saw Vegapunk. And this is like one of the legends over here at Futureland Baltimore. And then Birdie Kingdom, which is Chopper's training ground in the South Blue. And they're saying, people are talking about the island where Tanukichi is. Vegapunk's the father of modern science, but many of his advances are used for weapons. And then we see the pirate island full of lead in the New World. And we see, would you all pipe down? Vegapunk is about to speak. Who stop trying to distract me from the fact that you rigged this game? Can you all hear me? And then we go over to Egghead New World. And we hear Vegapunk. Testing. Hello, this is Vegapunk. And then, boom. And then it gets smashed. It gets smashed by Mars. And then, hello world. Just a regular transponder snail? Mars, literally, the reaction Mars gets right there is just shock. Just a regular transponder snail, not only does he hide it, he fools us with decoys. Curse you, Vegapunk. Come in, world. It's a one-sided hijack of the waves. Stella. I know that. Well, in that case, let's get this message started. Yeah, about time. What's about to happen? And you see just the different cuts. What is it? Go back to sleep. A very important man's going to tell us something. And then we see Mars. It's not stopping, Mars. I'm sorry, Vegapunk has concocted a robust security system to prevent the transmission from being stopped. I don't know what he knows or what he intends to say, but York claimed that he had carried on Ohara's research. And then we get a cut of all the five Gorosei, the other four Gorosei are like, oh my gosh. So he refuses to go out like Clover, huh? Does he mean to avenge Ohara's loss? And then Vegapunk, what is it, Vegapunk? And then Sanji's, I can hear it, the sounds of Bonnie's voice begging for my help. Who's that? Julie Bonnie, you shall not have the Navy's might. And Venus Juro comes down trying to slash him. Frankie pulls up right in front of her. Get back, Bonnie. And Bonnie's like, no. Sanji's like, wait, Frankie, move it. The only one who gets to score points with Bonnie is me. And then, boom, straight up uppercut with the leg. After bouncing off the sword, absolutely ripping him up in his jaw. He says, did you think the elderly get special treatment? This is how pirates fight. And then you get a crazy shot of Venus Juro's like horse demon form just coming out of like his chest and biting him. And then Sanji, Bonnie screaming Sanji, and you got Oimo and Kashi pulling up. They're like, what is it? I'm going to hold him down. You got it, Kashi. And then we got Vegapunk saying, I have committed 2 sins. Other people are like, oh my gosh, he's starting. And then you go over to Stella. It's like, oh, Stella, the other Vegapunk caught him. And you see Bonnie's like distorted future. And then Marines are like, who is that? That's Julie Bonnie. And Julie Bonnie believes in Nika. And she's like, give me a giant like future. And so she has a Nika form pretty much. And then Venus, no. And then Vegapunk says, therefore, whether I am arrested or executed, I shall program this message to be broadcasted when my heart stops beating. So now we cut over to Sabaody Archipelago. People are like, what? You mean Vegapunk is already dead? That can't be right. In the news this morning, it said that he was being held hostage by the Straw Hat crew. And then Caesar Clown is like, huh? You've got to be kidding me. We're here trying to drag you off your ivory throne and then Morgan's like, you can't just give away the story to the entire world. How am I going to sell my papers? And Vegapunk says, however, I want to make one thing very clear first. Whoever may have rendered their judgment onto me, I am not trying to convince you that their intent is evil. I will not apply the labels of good and evil at all, in fact. Go away, as you see the tension still brewing with Saturn attacking them. As Vegapunk is talking in the loudspeaker, he says, because I understand too little about him to begin with. And then you see Saturn say, Vegapunk. And he says, move, I have no time to deal with the likes of you. And he goes to attack them all. Where that voice, Robin remembers, I see. That is quite an audacious hypothesis, Saturn said in a flashback that Nico Robin remembers. And then Saturn says, Nico Robin, the woman Akainu let slip between his fingers. The man is soft. And then Robin says, the 5 elders? And then Nami's like, huh? What? And then we see Nami says, protect Robin. And then everyone just goes right in. We'll do whatever it takes. Guard point, smack, shooting, swinging, everything. Brook, Chopper, Nami, Usopp. They're all in there going, defending themselves against Saturn. And then we see Chopper looks up. He gets hit, by Saturn. He says, "Be gone, you miserable worms." And then Mars, no, Vegapunk says, "What I'm about to tell you is so preposterous, you might even burst into laughter." And then Mars says, "It's no use. There are too many transponder snails in the lab. It seems there are no unique signals. Think, York, think. You won't get to be a celestial dragon. I'm Vegapunk too. Where would I hide it?" And then Vegapunk says, "However, you all have the right to know." And then Mars says, "What happens if we destroy the power plant?" Saturn says, We can afford the loss of all the ships and sailors surrounding the island." And Workery says, "But no one will be able to create the mother flame anymore." And then Vegapunk says it. To make a long story short, the world as we know it will sink into the sea. To be continued. And that right there is the end of chapter 1113. Thank you all for attending my time here with you. I genuinely appreciate it. And this was very, very, very fun and informative. A lot of laughter. I mean, a lot of seriousness. We literally got Vegapunk's reveal in this chapter, so it's an absolutely huge chapter, and we will see just how far this does end up going for us. So I would rate this chapter a 10 out of 10, as I normally would do, and that is because I do love One Piece. One Piece is my anime, and I don't care what you guys have to say. One Piece is where my heart and soul are at. I love where it's been going, and how it's been riding along so far. I really don't have any problems with the chapter. Really don't have any problems with the anime. Like, the anime is so good. It hypes up his powers, Luffy's powers, even more. I mean, honestly, the anime and the manga are just going hard week in and week out. I just want to just say, shout out to them. And just a big time shout out to Oda for just having the type of patience that he's had to endure just everything that he's had to endure, to get to this moment, keeping everything just simply on lock, like low key, and not allowing anyone to have any feeling. So, like, feeling suspicion, like, he's so good at tying in everything from years and years, 20 years ago, literally 20 plus years ago. He's literally the best. He's literally the best. And I just want to hear what y'all have to say, man. Like, comment, and subscribe if y'all would like to. Man, I'm still looking at this, and I'm just like, this is incredible. I can't believe, Luffy being the sun god. I feel like that's where it's gonna end up being, where he, like, I don't know, takes out the water or something. I don't know. Maybe makes the world bigger. I don't know. You know what I mean? There's so many things. So yeah, man, let me know what y'all think, man. This was absolutely a top 10, top 5 chapter. Man, let me know what your favorite part was. I think, and this was very underrated statement here. Oimo and Kashi really got buffed up here too. I mean, the whole crew, the whole Straw Hat crew, but then really Oimo and Kashi as well. And I mean, to use the 5 Gorosei for that reason, that just goes to show, I feel like, that the show One Piece, all the characters are gonna be like these endgame characters. They're immortal, but we're gonna meet more immortal characters. I feel like the Holy Knights, and then just even possibly the other man, I don't even know, man. I don't know, because I know Emu is the one that gifted them this, so it's like, I don't even know, man. Y'all just let me know, man. I'm still here just thinking about it, man. Yeah, again, like, comment, and subscribe. And I'm a realtor with Keller Williams, so if you guys need anything, real estate agent in Port St. Lucie, Florida, buy, sell, rent, invest. It doesn't matter what price you're looking for. Let's try to get you pre-approved if you're looking to buy. Let's try to see what's out there for you. If you're looking to sell, let's go over the process and let's see what you can get at. Run a couple CMAs and see where you're able to be priced at. So I hope y'all have a great day, and I look forward to seeing y'all on the next one. All right? Catch you later.